Just to make things simpler, people who are merchants of skill can try to not compete with other people who have that same skill. When it seems like people would compete with skills, then style becomes relevant. In other words, you aren't going to compete with people who have different styles than you because different people have different tastes. Now, we can pretty easily associate new skills with new styles. A large part of this is going to be the language about whatever we describe. I've been developing Swoop publicly for about 7 years. Parts of it become more usable when I describe it more, but I refine the core of the language on my own. The utility of Swoop currently is mostly in scene description. This can add stability and depth to prompts. In the context of prompt engineering, depending on the queries and the subjects that are rendered, this can save a lot of energy and money. This largely assumes that we're already in a context where style is relevant, and I believe we are with the ways that we approach creator economies. I've been exploring the business to business ergonomics that are relevant to the ways that I want to engage with the world and listening to the people who have been doing similar things. The abstract streamer role is necessary for the kinds of attention that people want to spend, and it is also necessary to make sure the ways we direct possibility and describe the ways that we're engaging with time are accessibly relevant to the kinds of things that make society the world that we want to live in. That might be abstract, and I would recommend talking about it if it is abstract. Otherwise, I'm going to post this video to YouTube, and you can ask Gemini to summarize this video. Swoop is spelled SPW. I go by Splashy on YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky, X, TikTok, GitHub. Splashy is spelled SPWASHI. Swoop is a language that I have been developing for a while, and it's useful for prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is going to be a task useful in contexts that front-end and full-stack and back-end engineers navigate. It is important in team architecture to consider the contexts where prompts might be useful, because preserving the prompt and the context of development will be relevant for the kinds of conversations that people will want to have about development. And a large part of this is just understanding the focal point for what's relevant, like about which point do we rotate. I'd like to explore more of the metaphysics of language and materials science. And part of this is just the design of language for the sake of making storylines understandable. I've been told that I'm too abstract in multiple contexts, and I'd like to practice finding structures that are more common to more people. Having conversations and going live on TikTok has made it easy for me to find people who understand me and also meet other people who communicate differently so I can practice. I've also appreciated X Spaces for this as well. It's been interesting exploring Midjourney because the different contexts of development, the different contexts of visual language development, like describing images that I've drawn or painted and images that ChatGPT has generated, then generating different versions of images with Midjourney using different constraints and parameters has been very interesting. Connecting this with language design and playing around with Suno, Suno, the music generation app, has been a lot of fun. So for the sake of why people would make art and why people would relate to other people, I have been relating to other people and making art and exploring the modern contexts of technology. And this is with 14 years of software development experience with clients, like in production contexts. I would say probably 10 years of production experience total. It depends on when you count it, and the different years had different intensities. So I would say 10 solid years of production experience. But I was also on the speech team in high school and directed a play. I've performed stand-up comedy and improv. Had a variety of experiences in college. So the reflections on production have been salient for a while or in a variety of different ways. Now I'm probably going to explore generating scripts with Swoop and Grok and ChatGPT. Cheers.